Good morning, dear students. Let's proceed to the next part of our chapter, metals and non-metals. Yesterday we have talked about different physical properties of metals and non-metals, out of which we have learned about hardness and physical state. Today we will learn some more physical properties of metals and non-metals. These are shine or luster, malleability, ductility, and sonorous materials. If you observe a new steel spoon or a new steel plate, you will observe that it is having a shiny surface. You can even see your face in it. All the metals are shiny in appearance, and the shine in metals is called luster. Some metals like gold and silver, they are so shiny, they have so much of luster that they are used to make jewelries. On the other hand, non-metals are generally dull. The exception for non-metals is iodine. It is highly lustrous. Malleability is the property of a material to be beaten into sheets. To understand this property, let's perform an activity. Just collect some samples of iron pieces, copper, pencil lead, and rubber. Wrap all these materials separately into different packets and then flatten the materials using a hammer. What will be the result? Do all the materials get flattened? No. Materials like iron, copper, they will get flattened, whereas rubber, pencil, lead, they will not. So this activity shows that the metals on being hammered or compressed, they can be flattened to sheets, whereas non-metals are brittle. They break into pieces when they are beaten or compressed, and hence they cannot be beaten into sheets. So we can say that metals are malleable, whereas non-metals are brittle in nature. This malleability is a valuable property. Why? Because it allows the metals to be molded into different shapes. Ductility is the property that allows materials to be drawn into wires. Electrical wires are made of thin strands of copper or aluminium. And you know that copper and aluminium are metals. The thin strands can be turned and twisted easily without breaking. And this shows the ductility of metals. Can you think of drawing such thin wires from graphite? Definitely not. Graphite is a non-metal and it cannot be drawn into a wire and therefore it is not ductile. So we can say that metals are ductile whereas non-metals are not. Gold is outstandingly ductile as well as malleable, which makes it possible to be drawn into wires thinner than a hair or beaten into thin sheets, and this makes it useful for making jewelry. The substances which produce a ringing sound when struck with a hard material are called sonorous. Let's perform an activity. Collect different objects near you and drop them one by one on the floor. But make a note that do not drop such objects which may break. Do you find any difference in the sounds produced by these objects? You will notice that the metals produce a distinct ringing sound when they are struck hard or when they hit the floor. So, they are said to be sonorous. Whereas non-metals, they do not produce a ringing sound and therefore they are non-sonorous. For example, the bells which are commonly used in schools, churches or temples, they produce a ringing sound when they are struck with a hard material. Thus we can say that metals are sonorous, whereas non-metals are non-sonorous. So that's all for today. Tomorrow we will study about other physical properties of metals and non-metals and compare them as well. Thank you.